Yeah, here we are. Happy Chris and Amanda Day.
Our favorite day of the week, Chris. We made it another week. We're here with 6 new songs, new stories to share, new ratings to give.
That's
So
right.
we are pumped.
We've got all kinds of stuff going on today, and we're so excited that you can join us here live right now for another awesome episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. Welcome, one and all, to our live show every Monday as we do it around 2:15 ish, and we really appreciate you joining us. Thank you for everybody who is going to be watching a replay of this and also listening to the audio version of this wherever you listen to podcasts. And to that important point, please make sure you hit that follow, subscribe button, or whatever you need to do on any platform that you're watching us. If you're watching us live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, make sure you follow the show. And if you're listening, like I said, on any of the audio podcast platforms, make sure you hit the follow button there so that way you get notified every single time we drop a new episode and or go live,
Live.
beaming straight into your lives.
Let me move. I have a shadow. Well,
Okay.
no, it's right
Oh, you got to
there.
check. All right, you move the
know what it
shadow.
is?
You move.
It is 3 18-count cartons of eggs.
I got you. Was that an order from an online delivery service?
Gosh, I love that. No, they're farm fresh from a friend.
Oh, nice, excellent, very good.
Oh,
So Amanda was just moving a pile of eggs from her camera just now.
this is how we roll in the Chris and Amanda Show. You never know what's going to happen. It's live. It's just what we do.
It is. It is exactly what we do. And speaking of things that we do, so a couple things that we have going on. So one of the new things right now that we have started, we just released it today on the Chris and Amanda Show, is we now have a You Pick the Songs commission. So with that, that means you can pick 6 songs of your liking for Amanda and I to rate, review, and react to. All you have to do is head over to our Buy Me a Coffee account, which is whatever. Let's start that over. Coffee, which is buymeacoffee.com/TC&AS. You can use the link in the show notes, and you'll actually see on the extras there is a new little thing, which is you get the commission and pick the songs that we're going to talk about on an entire episode of the show. So you can check that out now. Once again, there's also links directly in the show notes too, where you can get access to that. You pick the songs. We got to get like a sound effect for that. You pick the songs.
Songs.
Yeah. I'm going to have to get that next.
That would be fun. And I mean, it would give us a lot more homework to do, I feel like. Because we would basically,
I think it would give us a lot more homework.
Six songs. We got to look at it as 6 songs instead of our 3 to each other.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, if you're new here, welcome. And this is how we do the show. Chris picks 3 songs. I pick 3 songs. We send them to each other because we come from very different backgrounds musically, yes. And we rate them on a sliding scale of 1 to 5 records. 1 being it's terrible and it should not have ever been sung. 5 meaning it's awesome and it's going to stay on playlist forever.
Yes, that is correct. And over the last year, almost a full year we've been doing the show, Amanda has exposed me to lots of new sounds that I probably would not have gone and listened to on my own. And I feel like I've done the same for you. I feel like I've converted you a little. I think we've converted each other a little bit.
You've converted me a lot, but these songs today, what?
Well, let's dive into it. So I sent you these songs. So I got a little feedback from some of our listeners, our fans. Oh, by the way, before we start, I just want to give a really quick live shout out to a friend of the show, Mr. Tony Donato, the Fork Boy himself. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, brother. Yes. And I just wanted to give you that quick shout out. We appreciate you. Thanks for your support and for your love of the show. And had an awesome time hanging out with you this weekend. So happy birthday, my friend.
One of our biggest fans. Thank you.
Yes. So back to our regularly scheduled program. I had gotten some feedback from some of our listeners, some fans, and they have, I wouldn't say accused me, but the notion was floated
Ooh.
that I
Let's get
was
serious.
maybe going a little too soft on you, Amanda Sharp.
Well,
And while everybody loves like the different songs we give to each other, I've got a little bit of like you're letting Amanda slide and not giving her some of the other, some of your heavier stuff. And I said, well, that's great feedback, and I can agree. But I also know there's some things I don't want to give you on purpose because I know that they'll just scare you, like completely terrified. And I
protect
want
you.
the show to be. I still want the show to be fun, and I know there's things that like I think it'd be funny if over the course of next year you'll probably get something
Sure.
terrifying. I'm sure
Sure.
because it'll just be funny to see you react. But I do want us to have a really good discussion. But so this week I'm not saying that I gave you any black death metal or anything like that, but like I definitely stepped it up. I turned up the heat a little bit.
I felt the heat. I was feeling the burn. I was feeling the burn. So this makes sense because I started to listen to the songs, which are, I'll just say the songs while we're on
Yeah.
it. Your first song to me was I Don't Believe in Love by Queensryche.
It is Queensryche.
Oh,
Queensryche.
Hmm.
Queensryche.
Totally makes sense now that you said it. Your number 2 song was Cemetery Gates by Pantera.
Mm-hmm.
And your third song was Head Like a Hole by 9 Inch Nails. And wowzer. It was a strong set of songs this week.
It was time to turn the heat up a little bit. I feel hey, here we are. We're in as we're recording this, we are in the 5th week of January.
Yeah,
4th week of
yeah,
January.
yeah.
A long month.
A long month.
But yeah, so we're at the end of January here, and I feel like we are getting into the groove of things. We've got through the holidays. We did our best of show to kick off 2022.
Yes.
And we've been sharing some new things we've been listening to, some new discoveries we made, and it's been great. But I wanted to get back to some of the basics of the show where we started, which was sending you things that I know you would never listen to and might even make you a little uncomfortable. But
I
that's
had
the
to
fun
do
of the show.
this and this. Listening to your songs, which you rightfully might have had to do to mine too. So what were my songs to you, Chris?
I've got some fun stuff about your song. So I got so this week you sent me He's Fine by Secret Sisters. Which I was trying to figure out, like, why are they so secret? Like, I was like trying to figure out that
A
I
secret, Chris.
yeah, I didn't go like that deep into like their name, but I was like, why are they Secret Sisters? Can't they just be we're sisters?
Sisters?
But
That song was taken.
yeah.
Or that was taken.
Yeah. See You Soon by Beckah Shae.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. And this was one I was actually surprised you gave me. And we'll get into it, but I was like, wow, Amanda sending me some Phoebe Bridgers with doing the cover, the classic Cure cover of Friday I'm in Love. And that one I was like, all right, Amanda. Look at that.
I didn't know.
I'm like, all right, look at that. So so I was very pleasantly surprised with that pick for sure.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, I went first last week, so
Okay.
I'll let you dive into my songs to you this week.
All right. So your first song for me this week was once again He's Fine by Secret Sisters. Never heard of Secret Sisters before. But I would definitely say from the first listening to them, I was struck with their I don't know, I liked the quality of their singing and their music, the harmonizing, and I actually was what I had thought, and then I had read it and I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I had felt like, wow, there's a very like Everly Brothers kind of feel to their music. And then lo and behold, I go to look up notes and like as I'm doing research, and it says often be compared to be influenced by the Everly Brothers. And I'm like, holy cow. I was like, because that was the thing that I got like after listening to them, I'm like, wow, this is very like this sounds so familiar. Like, and then I was like, huh, it's kind of like Everly Brothers-esque kind of thing. But then I looked it up and I was like, wow, look at that. So I thought that was kind of cool. Laura and Linda are Lydia, sorry, Laura and Lydia Rogers are the sisters. They hail from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. So once again, I was still like, why are they secret sisters? But I didn't get the I didn't find out why they were secret sisters. I thought it was interesting though about this record, or this song in particular. So this came off of their third record, which was "You Don't Own Me Anymore." And a little bit of quick history about them is that they were signed to a label. They were on Republic Universal Records, so Republic Records owned by Universal. They were dropped from the label. They had a lot of, they were angry. They filed for bankruptcy at one point. I mean, they did
Ooh.
not have an easy go of it. And someone who we've listened to, you've given me to listen to on the show a few times, Brandy Carlisle,
Mhm.
helped them to get their new record together, and then they actually fundraised, they crowdsourced their new record, the record for the "You Don't Own Me Anymore," and they even got like an opening tour slot with Ray Montague. I can Ray LaMontion. I can never say the guy's name, but that guy. But this song, "He's Fine," is off that record, so they have a pretty interesting story from that perspective of, kind of being a victim of the music industry and then getting
Mhm.
churned out, but kind of like, somebody coming to their aid, like Brandy Carlisle, and being like, no, they're really good. Like their music should be out there. So I really enjoyed this song. I thought it was cool. I liked the quality. I thought it was, I don't know. I just thought it was a cool song. It's nice. It's got a nice feel to it. I like the uh the sincerity of their performance in it. I think it's
Mhm.
cool. Once again, there are some country stuff that you give me and I go, it is so overproduced that I feel like I've lost like the
Right.
actual like authenticity. And listen, I like overproduced pop stuff too. I mean, I like that. It's
Sure.
not,
It's
I don't
catchy.
always think it's a bad thing, but sometimes I feel like that the production doesn't match up with the quality of like the song, and I feel like you get
True,
lost and it
true.
just becomes like it sounds like a by the numbers type of thing. When like a lot of times I bet the original version or the demo version or the stripped down version of that song is actually like that's the better, like that's the
Right.
version you want to hear. So that's what I liked about this song, because I was like, this is cool. It's got a nice production on it, but it still sounds like um very sincere and authentic in that
Mhm.
way. So I really enjoyed this song. I thought it was cool. I didn't expect to like it. I don't know. There was something about the sisters, the secret sisters, and I'm like, I don't know. This is like, is this gonna be like some, I don't know, not good country pop stuff? But I was surprised. It was not. So I like this song. I thought it was a cool
Very
song.
good.
I'm putting it on my playlist. It's making the playlist.
It's actually making the
Well,
playlist.
so what I've now done, so I used to have a Sunday songs thing, which I still
Yeah.
do, and it'll probably go on there, but now I've actually created a playlist of country songs Amanda has sent me that I like playlist.
I like that.
And that's on that playlist now. So I
I
like this song, and I will give this song a 4 records. It would probably be the official rating would probably be a 3.8, but I'm gonna
Okay,
just round
okay.
it right up to the 4
I'll take that
since we
rounding
don't
up
do that on
to
the show.
4.
Okay.
I'll take that rounding up.
I
That is
liked it. I
that's
like the song.
super
I've listened to it
good.
several times now, and I'm like, just every time I hear it, it's like I like it more and more.
That is fantastic. I like it. And you know what I love is in this digital world, no one has to like stay down.
Mhm.
There's so many ways to like raise funds and do the things your way.
Right.
And I just love like, and I think the title of that album says a lot. You don't own me anymore. And
Yeah,
they own themselves at that point and nailing it. So it's just it's a sweet song. I really
it
enjoy
is.
it. So I'm super glad that you liked it.
I did like it, and, yeah, I thought it was cool, like, they raised 50% of their goal in 48 hours, and then in just over a month, they exceeded their goal of
And
in
I would just be thrilled if
yeah,
one person commissioned a show.
I know. So, if
Just saying.
if the Secret Sisters can raise enough money in 48 hours to create a whole record, surely somebody can step up to the plate and commission a show where you
Right.
get to pick all the songs,
All
and
the
you get to
stuff.
pick any song. If you want to do 6 black metal songs, then we have to do it. We have to, or
Absolutely.
whatever. I mean, it could be 6 hip hop songs or whatever it is you want.
Agreed.
You can pick. It is your money. You pick it, and we will react and review it.
Absolutely. Chris and Amanda got bills. Bills, bills, bills.
Darn straight we do. So commission a show.
We do.
You pick the songs and you pick the songs.
Absolutely. I love it. All right. So your first song to me again was I Don't Believe in Love by Queensryche, which now it totally makes sense as that. You know,
I love sending you I love sending you band names where you're like last week I did it. I put the London the choir
you were
boys and I
so
spelled it out
kind to the choir boys.
because I was like, I just can't let you try to struggle with this. But this one I was like, I need to hear you struggle with this on the air.
Let's just shout out choir boys and Presley and Taylor.
Yes.
Because they both interacted with our Instagram post and we just appreciate that so much. This was the first show that we actually had or the last week's show was the first time anyone that we've tagged before like commented, and to have 2 in 1 week, it just was
awesome.
So thank you, choir boys and Presley and Taylor. We appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
Kind of made it feel like we made it.
we were like, wow,
I mean,
somebody we talked about on the show actually liked the post we made.
Thank you so much for adding this to your not just liked it, but commented. It was fantastic.
Yes, it was very cool.
So Josh was saying Machine Gun Kelly songs.
Do you know who Machine Gun Kelly is?
I don't know that I do, Chris.
So here's a great example right now of why you would want to commission a show. Because
it starts with Amanda saying, I don't think I do, Chris.
Right. So right away, that's gold. You know you're in for a good show. So yes, 6 Machine Gun Kelly songs would be interesting. But you could do that.
Hey, go to our buy us a coffee. All right. So I Don't Believe in Love.
Okay.
Which is I guess when it started, like it was a typical intro. It sounded like a typical song that would be like that, like in that like spectrum of music. So
what's the spectrum of music that you would
I would say like 80s, like feather bang hair era.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're in the 80s, right? So yeah, I mean I wouldn't say they were a hair metal band or anything like that. They were just the 80s like hard rock, like
you know, they have the hair that I wish I had, but I don't have. Like I put them in that genre.
Right.
All about the hair.
It's all about the hair.
I know there's a proper name, but there's the big hair group. There's just lots of levels.
Right. There are.
So I wasn't surprised as soon as it started. I felt like it was very predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't bad. I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I just feel like it was exactly what I expected when I started it. So I will say this one was probably my least favorite.
Okay.
Of the 3.
All right.
But even with that being said, we've discussed different levels of skippage in the past.
We have discussed different levels of skippage because that exists.
It exists. There's a formula. We have a TikTok about it.
Right. We've established that. Yes. You go on TikTok and you can listen to the formula.
Yes, to the formula of skippage. This one, but I wouldn't skip it.
Right. Okay.
I wouldn't skip it.
It would come on and you would not actively go, I gotta skip that. It would just let it play out.
Right. As I've quoted before, it doesn't offend me.
It doesn't offend me.
It also doesn't spark joy in me either. So I feel like that's a quick, like rapid, like breakdown of I Don't Believe in Love.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I'm going to give it 3 records. So not bad. Right. Not bad.
Okay. Yeah, not bad at all. I will take your 3 records. I wasn't sure which way you would go with this one. I didn't think you would hate it. I thought kind of that you'd at least get here into this middle spot because, but yeah. So I love Queensryche. I actually remember seeing them on this tour. This is off of the Operation Mindcrime record, which for those out there who like Queensryche or would want to explore Queensryche, it was actually a concept record that they did. And they did like a little film to go along with it and all that stuff. But this is probably off that record. That's probably one of the quote unquote poppier songs, you know, because they're just they fit in more into like the prog metal sort of category of things but they were a little bit more melodic and stuff. But so this is one of their much more like, I guess, more accessible songs. Sure. From that record, but yeah,
their vocals were decent though.
Jeff Tate's got an amazing voice.
Yeah,
you've probably heard their biggest hit, which I think if I sent it to you, you may not know
Okay.
it by name, but I think if I send it to you, you would. So their biggest hit, which isn't on this record, it was on the next record called Empire. The song was called Silent Lucidity. And it's just him, and it's very guitar driven, like
Okay.
acoustic guitar, some piano.
Ooh,
I send it to
I
you. I
like
think you're gonna be
acoustic.
like, I know this song, but you didn't know that you knew that song. But that would be Queensryche.
Like so many things in my life.
I will send it to you.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So your one song was "I Don't Believe in Love." My song was like "He's in Love," but with another woman.
Right. But with another
He's
woman.
fine. He's fine.
Yeah. Yes.
We kind of anchored kind of the same lane about love.
Mhm.
Our second songs to each other were kind of very like in the same lane, but opposite a little bit too.
A little bit, a little bit.
So it was
So,
interesting.
so your next song to me was by Beckah Shae, and the tune was "See You Soon." And I no idea who Beckah Shae is, Beckah Shae. But I did a little digging, and I found out she is, I guess, more what you would classify as a Christian
Mhm.
contemporary, like pop music. And I got to tell you, so when I first listened to this, I thought this was like, okay, this was, it was fine.
Mhm.
It's an okay song. Definitely, like I said, I didn't know about her, so I wasn't sure like where. I figured you must have heard this on your Pandora Christian pop playlist.
Yep.
Yep. But you know what? I listened to the song a few times. I think it's a lot more. I don't know. Sometimes I listen to some Christian music, and I always feel like it's lacking that thing that like makes it like, for lack of a better word, good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like there's so much focus on the lyrics and the message that the music and kind of like,
A secondary.
yeah, and it always
Fair.
bugged me because I'm like, why can't it just be both? You know, like why can't, like, I don't mind the lyrics, it's fine. Like that's
It's
up
hard
to
to sing about Jesus and have people be like, "Now that's a
right.
hit."
Right, exactly. But like I think that, and I listened, there's like, oh, wait till I start giving you some like Christian core bands because that's coming soon, Amanda. So
Nice.
yeah. But I like that this one was a little bit more, I don't know, it was more well structured. The music itself was decent. I liked it. I liked it. I don't know if I would go ahead and go um put this one on. I don't know if I'm
Okay.
gonna save this one onto a playlist. I don't know. So sometimes there's songs like this you give me that
Mhm.
don't hit me right, and then I
Okay.
listen to it like a few months later, and then I go, "Oh, this song's actually better than it was when I first listened to it." So I'm gonna give this 3 records
Okay.
for
Okay.
now.
I can appreciate that.
But I feel like there's something about this song I may come back to. I don't know. But I'm at a 3
Catchy.
records with it right now.
It's a catchy
That's my
one.
reaction.
I feel like she's a little bit like the Christian Megan Trainor.
Oh, that's actually okay. Thank you for saying that because I kept saying, "Why does this sound so familiar?" And I couldn't think of, like,
The
I don't know. For some reason, I kept thinking more Motownish, but without like any of the real, like, I
Sure.
don't know. It was like it was Motown without any of the actual Motown kind of
Sure.
a thing, you
Sure.
know. But that okay, so that comparison makes a lot of sense now that you've said it because I was like, why does this sound Megan Trainor? Okay,
Yeah, it definitely has it. So it's to me, it's just like a fun like ditty or bop, a
it's a
little ditty
ditty. Yes.
ditty, to use your word, and it just makes me happy. Like I can just like it makes me happy.
Well, it does, and I do like the up tempo of it. It's like it's a fun song, and that's the other thing that I always bothers me about a lot of Christian contemporary pop is that they never sound fun.
They can
And
be
I'm
so
like,
serious.
when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, shouldn't this sound more fun and uplifting? Shouldn't this be more positive than it? I mean, like the lyrics are positive, but like the music doesn't reflect it. So that's why a lot of times I'm like always like a little like, I feel like you kind of
Totally
mailed
fair.
that one in a little bit.
Totally fair. Totally fair. So I'll take your 3 records,
Yeah.
thinking that it might go up to 4. I like
I think it's gonna go up. I gotta just, I think I gotta spend more time with it. It's on the cusp for me. I'll put
I
it to you
like
that
it.
way.
I like it. So Joshua is saying, is it
Zao.
Zao? Zao? Oh, Zao?
Yeah, so
Who's Zao?
that would be a Christian core band.
Okay.
So when I say Christian core, because I've been teaching you about the different levels of core. So
There's
there's hardcore,
Concord, there's
yeah, calm core. as you call it, comcore, easy core.
Or-
There is an entire subset of Christian core bands where they sound like the easy core bands and hardcore bands, but they are like totally
like
singing
heavy.
about the Holy Spirit,
Woo!
but
Oh,
in the key of hardcore and metal. So I've got some of these lined up for you this year.
can't wait.
It's
Can't wait.
coming.
You know the Holy Spirit girl? Like, Holy Spirit.
Oh yeah.
You seen that?
Yes.
I just need a moment like that. Like, we're gonna have our moment like that, Chris. We're gonna be on Family Feud, and there's gonna be, I won't be saying
Yes.
Holy Spirit, but there'll be something else. We're gonna have our time.
I would love to be on Family Feud together with you. I think that would be amazing.
We
I
would
think
just
we would
have
kill it. I think we
we,
would kill it.
we would have like kill it in laughter no matter what. Steve would be like, get her off the stage. Steve Harvey, we're coming for you. You just
That's
don't
right.
know it yet.
That's right. Chris and Amanda show. Worldwide. Worldwide.
I love it. All right. So moving on to your number 2 song.
Okay.
Cemetery Gates by Pantera.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm saying that name wrong, but you haven't corrected me.
No, it's Pantera. It
Pantera.
actually Pantera is was a car.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a sports car.
I don't know very much about cars. They just get me to point A to point B.
But it sounds cool as hell, right? Pantera.
Absolutely. Sounds a little like crazy, a little like bold, a little like I might cut you a little. I might cut you a little.
Metal.
Fair enough. So it started out okay. And then it literally hurt my ears. I had to turn it down. And we know Amanda doesn't listen to music very loud anyway. Like, we're on a very quiet scale. This is the juicy content I was waiting for.
Thank you.
So I have a very low listening like level to begin with. And this, I was like, okay, I can deal with this. And then the squeal of whatever was playing was like knives in my ear, Chris.
Oh, come on. That is
ear.
a sick guitar riff.
Yeah, it made me think.
No,
it was like, it was not, it was like it was ear.
Oh, Phil's vocals. Oh, come on. This is a great song. I gave you this song on purpose, being like
music that was like
this is where I convert. This is where I convert Amanda into a Pantera fan.
Okay, listen. It just hurt my head. So my notes are hurts my ears, literally hurt my head. Those were my written notes.
But it's a great song.
And I had to turn the volume down very low so I could actually get through it the first time.
And then you turned it back up.
Well, to be fair, I did, but not the first time I listened to it. My ears got used to it. There is just such a high.
I think from now on.
I'm talking about a dye bomb because I was about to die.
Yes. He is talking about a dime bomb, which is the Dimebag Darrell. He's a guitar player. God rest his soul. But yes, that is the dime. Thank you, Joshua. That is called the dime bomb. That is his signature guitar move.
Okay, so listen. I like Harry Potter. Okay,
there's a lot of comments coming in today. You lit it up. You lit it up, Amanda Sharp.
Absolutely. So I don't know if anyone's watched Harry Potter who's listening right now. I think they're cute, and I watched them because Owen watched them. And there was a scene where they're replanting this plant thing, and when you pull it out of the plant, it goes. That is what a dime bomb sounds like, and I didn't know that was a dime bomb until now. So thank you, Joshua. But it's like Harry Potter's producers used Pantera's Cemetery Gates dime bomb to come up with that noise.
They might have. I would love. That's a great interview question. You should save that one. When we get an interview with Harry Potter's producers, we'll have that one ready to go.
Were you inspired to use the dime bomb because of the Harry Potter scene? Inquiring minds want to know.
Thank you, Josh. A mandrake.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the mandrake. I mean, Neville or whatever passed out because of it, so it's loud and squeaky and squealy. So that's how I felt. I didn't pass out listening to it, but it was hurtful. It's a very long song. It's like,
well, it's a metal song.
6 minutes long, I think, right? If not a little longer.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
And as good hosts do, we do listen to our songs several times because we want to make sure that we're giving it a real nice, like, sincere rating. Second time I listened to it, still was painful. 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Ooh, Don. Woo! It was a long song of ear-piercing pain.
I think from now on, I
You're gonna have to keep throwing me Pantera.
No, I think we gotta start doing this. I think from now on, like you gotta start like making videos of yourself listening to some of these songs for the first time.
I
Like,
literally did this.
yeah, I think that's what I need because I think for us, for the good of the show, for the show, Amanda, think of the show. You need to start doing these.
I think
And
I
I
can
will
do
start
it.
doing them too. I
I
mean,
can
none of
I
your
can do it.
songs make me go like this, but I
But they make
definitely
Mike
react.
like bored or cry.
I might cry. Maybe I have.
That's right. That's right. But to be honest though, despite all the comparisons to a Drake plant and the dime bomb and all the squeals and me having to adjust my volume because for a 40-year-old woman, I act like I'm 90, this became my favorite song of the three. And I couldn't give it
There
a
you go.
3 record. I had to give it 4.
Wow, look at that. Look
So
at that.
I
You are
really
becoming a metalhead. You are. My wish is coming true. Slowly but surely, you're changing me into some country dude.
country bumpkin.
Yeah. And I'm turning you into a metalhead.
We can next Halloween we'll dress up as the
Oh
opposite.
my God. That would be great. We'll do a show where we're dressed up opposite.
So I'm willing to bet Pantera never thought they'd be compared to a Harry Potter movie. But in this episode of the Chris and Amanda show, they have been.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everyone.
And just like that. And for everybody who's watching and listening to the show for the first time, now you understand why the show works as well as it does. You're all welcome.
You're welcome. And this concludes my
Yes.
cemetery gates.
Now you understand why I was told I got to ratchet it up a little bit.
And thank you for those who did.
That was great. No, but listen, I am that all with all that said, you turned out giving it you turned
I did.
out to give it a 4 record rating, which that is great. More than I could have ever expected.
Oh, I'm so happy I made you happy.
It's a great gift. You've gifted me, Amanda Sharp.
You're welcome.
All right. So your final song to me, and I was shocked actually you gave this. Actually, not shocked. Let me take. I'm going to use a different word. I wasn't shocked. I was pleasantly surprised.
Right.
Because shocked, I think, it's a little harsh. I wasn't like but I was like,
Right. Like,
wow,
like what?
curious,
Sure.
interesting. I had that kind of a face. Phoebe Bridgers doing the Cure classic hit "Friday I'm in Love," which I think might, like most people who listen to the Cure, I think most Cure fans put this up there as a great Cure song, and I do. This is a song that I love hearing. Friday I'm in Love. I hear it. Everything sounds great. The world is perfect. It's Friday I'm in Love. It's a great song. The song is a genius pop song, and of course Robert Smith from the Cure is the only one is capable of writing that song. So that being said, the Phoebe Bridgers version, which I had not heard yet,
You haven't heard it?
I hadn't heard this version yet, and I was really surprised. And I was surprised you gave me this version of this song. So this was really cool. So for anybody out there that has not heard this version of Phoebe Bridgers, I may be the last person on earth, apparently, according to Amanda's reaction, to have heard the Friday I'm in Love version of the Phoebe Bridgers version of Friday I'm in Love. It is very good. And the version that I listened to is the Spotify Sessions version. I don't know if there's another, but that's the one that's on Spotify. And I love this version of the song. And the thing is too, so I've been getting into I've gotten into Phoebe Bridgers over the last year. I think she's great. I was even showing like in Joshua knows we're in the same chat group together. I was like actually looking at our website. She's got like her merch is amazing. She does a lot of. I don't know if you've looked at it, Amanda.
No, not her merch.
Well, first of all, her merch is all metal inspired. It's all like black metal, death metal inspired merch.
Oh
Like
my
even her logo, she had a death metal version of her logo that looks like a bunch of twigs, or like that metal logo. You got to check it out. Her website isn't one that I think you would be. I think you would disapprove of the use of her website, but her website is I love effing PhoebeBridgers.com.
oh my.
That's yeah. Uh,
Okay.
but anyway, I was like, wow, I actually didn't realize like how punk rock she is in that way. But I did watch her play in SNL. I think it was a few months ago, not that, but like, and I was like, wow, this was a really cool performance. I think she's great. I really do. I like her music, and I gotta say, actually listening to this version of Friday I'm in Love then made me go back through her whole catalog again and start listening, like re-listening to a lot of the songs I hadn't listened to in a while. She's fantastic. I like her whole persona, the thing. I like everything about her. This version of the song, though, I really liked her arrangement of it. She slowed it down. She did
Mhm.
her Phoebe Bridgers style. The Cure has always had that melancholy, like um, you know, goth kind of tone to everything they've done. Even when they write a pop song, you can't help but still like have that, like it's very like melancholy. I'll use the word again.
It is. It's even tones.
Yeah, and I like that she did this version, and I found this really cool article in Rolling Stone where she was talking about it, and she was saying that for her, this was in Rolling Stone, she thinks it's definitive, and she goes, "It would be great if I could call my mom," and she doesn't. Sorry, that's the wrong quote there. She was saying that if you, when she was talking about how she does her cover songs, if you can unwrap it at every level, the lyrics are still amazing. She said when it comes to the Cure hit 1992, was Friday I'm in Love, Bridgers wrote the lyrics in her first high school notebook. And she says, I think I even made a little calendar for myself that incorporated a lyric she laughed. She speculated she first heard a track on her iPod Shuffle, which is hilarious, goes to show how like old we are. She first heard on her iPod Shuffle, which was put on her library by a family friend. And she said, this was very seminal to me and my music taste. Friday I'm in Love sounds like the best possible summer song. It's a very specific time and place for me. And when I heard it, it's so hard to put it into words why I connect with it so much and why the sound is so specific. And I love that. I think she basically did her great her interpretation of that song
Mhm. Such
and
nice.
made it her own without like losing the actual integrity of the song. So I really, really like this version of the song. So with that, Amanda Sharp,
What? What's happening? What's happening?
I'm gonna give this a 5 record rating.
I did not expect a 5 rating for that. Like, I hoped you would like it.
I have listened to the song. I've kept it on repeat for like the last, like
Oh,
even this
God.
morning I woke up and I just had it on repeat and I'm like, I really like this version of the song.
I love her version. It's just really, like, just good. It's so good. And
It's
you
just
know
so different.
it is. And you know why I actually stumbled across her version?
How?
Because I was listening to our Spotify playlist and it ran out, and it
Oh,
continues.
and it
And this is one of the ones that just started playing. I go, what
wow,
is this magnificent work of art? And it
that
was
is
Miss
awesome.
Phoebe.
Well, I was impressed that you gave me Phoebe Bridges because I was like, wow, this is very new and relevant. But it's very like it's cool. Like Phoebe Bridges is like I think what she's doing with her music is very cool. I like her personality. I like the way she puts herself out there, her whole brand. Like I love that, the whole and how she like basically takes her, the whole punk and metal and like death metal and like makes it part of her brand. And it's like you look at it and you're like, and then she sounds like that. And it's like that's the thing too when you're talking about Ghost, like when I gave you Ghosts, like you're like, they look like that. They sound and they do all this imagery and then they sound like this. And it's like
Yes,
it doesn't make sense. It's like
it
funny.
doesn't.
That's what I think with
But
her. Like I do believe I know that she's into like that stuff, but then her music does not reflect the way she puts herself out there. So I like that. I think that's cool.
it's a little, like you said, her branding. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Last song of the show, because we're going to try and wrap it up.
Yes.
We try so hard to keep it under 30 minutes, and we can't because
We
here
just
we are,
can't. We just
nearly
have too
hitting
much fun.
45. All
We
right.
wait all week for this.
We do. All right. So the last song is Head Like a Hole by 9 Inch Nails. I'm just going to throw it out there. Least favorite.
Really?
No, not least favorite, but second to late because the first one was my least favorite. Um, it 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 didn't do it for me. It
Head
didn't
like
do
a
it for me.
hole?
It did not do it for me.
Wow.
It also hurt my head, but not at the same level as Pantera. But
But you liked but ultimately at the end of the day, you liked Pantera.
yeah, and I couldn't like warm up to preposterous. I'm so sorry, Joshua. But what I will say is it did have a catchy phrase in that I like. So the bow down before the one you serve, you're going to get what you deserve. Like I forget how it was sung. But I really
That's the hook. Yeah.
I like that hook a lot. So it was fun. I couldn't get like involved in it. I just couldn't do it. And I
Now,
tried so hard.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever given you anything since we've been doing the show together that sounds like Nine Inch Nails. So I figured I,
True.
it
True.
was, and you would classify this. So where you would put Nine Inch Nails in a genre of music,
Genre.
as I'm teaching you a little bit, Amanda,
Yeah.
they would be classified more in the um industrial, post-industrial sounds of the 90s. So
Okay.
industrial music is that like harder electronic. So it's electronic mixed in with like guitars, like like almost metal-esque kind of. So it's kind of mashed together, but it's all very based on electronics and like mixing like regular, like normal like instruments you play with electronic sounds. And Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, he's the only guy, basically created like this is his band, and this was their first record, and this was a huge record when it came. I mean, this blew up, and Head Like a Hole is like one of those singles where people were like, this is like a good mix between like an older like 80s new wave sound mixed in with like, newer like what's going on in the world of rock.
I just and I
Did that
gave
make any sense?
it did. And when I hear industrial and post-industrial, when I think of my real estate head, like those aren't necessarily great like features for me. So
Right.
I'm
But that's how the music kind of sounds, which is why they kind of call it an industrial-esque.
industrial.
Yeah.
So I know I've heard of Nine Inch Nails before, so I'm gonna have to maybe listen to some of their other music. I think you have to train your ear because I wasn't ready for, Cemetery Gates.
I have played Nine Inch Nails for you before.
You have? What?
Yeah, they did the Johnny Cash cover of I'm sorry, Johnny Cash did a cover of Nine Inch
That
Nails.
is absolutely right.
Yeah, sorry. So it was the other way around. I gave you Johnny Cash covering Nine Inch Nails
That is right.
with Hurt. Yeah.
So it's a good song.
Right.
That's a good song.
And this is the guy that wrote it.
I'm gonna feel this out a little bit more. It I'm giving it 3 records. Like I didn't hate it so much that I'm gonna give it a 2
Okay.
record. Like it wasn't like it's going towards a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Very raw. Yeah, like I feel like it was oh, and I was like, what's NIN?
Oh yeah, NIN. Yeah, Nine Inch Nails. That's how they show it. Like they just go NIN, NIN, Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, I think this was raw, so I feel like I'm not like hating on them. I just, we always say like had this song been put in with a different cluster of songs, maybe the rating would change, right?
Oh, look at that. So
Maybe it's all about the cluster.
I got a feeling. Here's what I know is going to happen. I know Amanda's going to be working at Press Rose, and I know when Amanda works and hangs out at Press Rose, she puts the playlist on,
Yes, I do.
and the playlist goes on.
It does.
I don't know how many songs she skips through on the playlist, but the playlist goes on, and I
Depends
know
where
this is
my
going to come
phone
on,
is.
and depends where the phone is, and this is going to come on, and she's going to be like, and then you're going to hear, bow down before the one you serve.
There we go.
You're gonna get what you deserve. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, if that like hook there wasn't that hook, it probably would be getting 2 records. But because that hook was pretty catchy, it gave it a 3.
It is a catchy hook.
It's a catchy hook. So that wraps up your 3rd song to me. So I think the most talkative one today, according to our comments, our amazing comments, was Cemetery Gates by Pantera.
I definitely think that was it. Got everybody riled up in the viewing audience today. But no, but that's good. And and this is why I got to. I agree. I've been giving Amanda. I've been giving Amanda a mix of everything I listen to, but I think I gotta just, I gotta turn up the heat. I gotta remember to turn up the heat every now and then and challenge her a little bit
You
more.
you
So
heated me. I sweated a
yeah,
little. I sweated a little.
sweated a little. Yes. So that this was a little bit of a return to form.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've loved every single comment and every viewer that's been here live. If you're listening to the replay, thank you. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And what other housekeeping do we need to say just before we wrap up here?
Yeah, absolutely. Just once again, yes, thank you so much for everybody who's watching live with us today. Thanks for everybody who will be watching a replay of this, and thanks to everybody who is listening to the audio version of this as well. Please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, all the things. Hang out over at Instagram and TikTok at the Chris and Amanda Show. All the links are in the show notes. Please use them. And if you would like to commission an episode of the Chris and Amanda Show, once again, you can use that link and you get to pick all the songs, 6 songs for us to rate, review, and do our Chris and Amanda thing. So you can use the links in the show notes or head over to our buymeacoffee.com and you'll see that over in the extra section. And coming next week on our next episode of the Chris and Amanda Show, we are going to
The movies.
Woo! Again. Yes. So apparently your voices have been heard, and we have seen through the data and analytics of the show and the downloads that everybody seems to like it when Amanda and I talk about songs from movies. And that is to date, our most listened to and most downloaded episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. So we would be foolish to ignore the data and analytics. And so we are going to be going back to the movies and doing another episode of Chris and Amanda Go to the Movies. And we will be selecting 3 songs for each other that we love from movies that were featured in films, on the soundtracks, featured in films, whatever. We're going to be sharing our 3 favorite songs with each other to rate, review, and give our opinions of.
It's going to be a blast. So tune in next Sunday at 2:15-ish. All of the live socials, Facebook, Twitter, not Instagram, Twitter, and what's
Twitch.
that other one?
Twitter,
YouTube,
the Facebook, the YouTubes, the interwebs, all that stuff. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you again so much for all of your support, and we will see you live right back here next Monday. See ya.
Bye, everyone. I gotta go grab Owen.